Morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome to MBS Connect, a daily walk through Proverbs. Today is day 26, and our topic is the right kind of behavior. And our lead verse comes from 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. This is how we are sure that we have some to know him, that we have come to know him by keeping his commands. So this is how we are sure that we have come to know him by keeping his commands. And our daily walk starts off with when we seek righteousness in our own lives, and when we seek the companionship of those who do likewise, we reap the spiritual rewards that God intends for us to enjoy. When we behave ourselves as godly people, we honor God. When we live righteously and according to God's commandments, He blesses us in ways that we cannot fully understand. So, just thinking back to that lead verse. So, this is how we are sure that we have come to know Him by keeping His commands. And then our topic, the right kind of behavior. So, righteous living. And we talked about, those two key commandments that we must follow: to love the Lord God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your strength. And the second is to love your neighbor as you do yourself. Where there's a story that kind of meshes all of this together, and it's the Good Samaritan story. Some of you may be familiar with that story, and it was pretty much an expert. He was challenging on Jesus, just pretty much said, which of these commandments, like, what should I do? And those two commandments that we pointed out were the two that he replied back to Jesus. This is what the law says. So then he challenged Jesus again, and he was like, so who is my neighbor? And Jesus went on to tell the story about the man who was traveling from Jericho to Jerusalem, and some robbers robbed him, beat him bad, ripped his clothes, and he was just there laying on the ground. So there were three type of people who walked by. So the first was a priest, and that priest walked by, saw this man on the ground, bleeding, half naked, and he just walked on the other side of the road, and he just kept on by his merry way. And then I think there was a Levite who was traveling down that same road, saw him, did nothing, just continued to walk. And then there was a third person, and that was the Samaritan, who went to that person's aid, who put bandages on him, who clothed him, who brought him down to the local hotel, took care of him, left money with the hotel keeper and told them to make sure they take care of him. And when he got back, he would pay back any expenses that went over, the money that he gave for that person's care. And then he asked the guy who challenged him was, which one of these do you think was the neighbor? And then the man said, the person who showed mercy. And Jesus pretty much told him, well, you do likewise. You treat people who are probably less fortunate. Instead of us thinking of a neighbor as the person who lived next door to us, we're all neighbors in this world, and sometimes there are some unfortunate people. And instead of doing what the priest and the Levite did, let's be good Samaritans. Let's live righteous. Let's do what's right, and help our fellow man. And that will spill over into how much God is just going to bless us, for being obedient and for keeping his commandments. It goes on to read, today, as you fulfill your responsibilities, hold fast to which is good and associate yourself with believers who behave themselves in like fashion. When you do, your good works will serve as a powerful example for others and as a worthy offering to your Creator. So not only is it a worthy offering to God, but it's going to be a great example for other people to see how you treat others, to see how you conduct yourself and how you live. That's going to be an example, whether it's good or bad, wrong or right, good or evil. So just remember to try your best to be more like the Good Samaritan and having the right stuff. So our daily walk through Proverbs, word for the wise, come from Proverbs or chapter 11, verse 19. Genuine righteousness leads to life, but pursuing evil leads to death. So not just saying, well, I'm going to do good, is not really just saying it. It's really genuinely having interest and having a love for people and doing things that are right. Because we can do one good deed just to check off a box and say, I did my one good deed, but genuinely, we're wired a certain way where God, gives us a heart for others, to give us a heart for what's right, and we should capitalize on that, and genuinely do it. So we will be, as the word just says, leads to life versus pursuing those evil things, which leads to death. So you guys have a great day. Have a blessed day. Hopefully you guys are doing well after Super Bowl Sunday. Congratulations to the New York Giants. And I see you guys tomorrow. Peace.